The call came on a cold Tuesday morning, a mission deep in the Alaskan interior, chasing the legend of the Tornit. The air was sharp, the kind that bites at your lungs and makes every breath feel like a challenge. Even before we set out, the weight of the unknown pressed in from all sides. Whispers had become stories, and stories had become legends of a massive, shadowy beast roaming the frozen valleys. Locals spoke in hushed tones, warning outsiders to stay away from certain places after dark. The locals called it the Tornit, a solitary hunter, white-furred, powerful enough to take down moose and bears. Its tracks appeared overnight, vanishing as quickly as they came, leaving only questions behind. Our task was simple on paper: track the creature, survive the wild, and return with answers. But in Alaska, nothing is ever as simple as it seems. Alaska in winter is unforgiving, temperatures that freeze skin in seconds, endless snow, and isolation. The landscape itself is a test of endurance, and mistakes can be fatal. I assembled a small, elite team, a tracker, a biologist, and a mountaineer. Each brought unique skills, hardened by years in the wild, and a shared determination to uncover the truth. We prepared for blizzards, avalanches, and the unknown threat of the Tornit itself. Every step forward meant facing nature's fury and the possibility of never coming back. The legend was compelling: strange tracks, torn carcasses, and a creature that defied explanation. Each clue only deepened the mystery, fueling our resolve. Was it a relic, a new species, or just fear given form? Only one way to find out. The line between myth and reality blurred with every mile we traveled. We knew the risks, but the wild was calling. The promise of discovery outweighed the danger. The hunt for Alaska's greatest secret was on. Each step into the wilderness brought us closer to the unknown, and we were ready to answer, no matter what waited for us in the frozen silence. Survival starts with preparation. Gear is your lifeline in the Alaskan winter. Out here, the smallest oversight can mean the difference between life and death. Every piece of equipment is chosen not just for comfort, but for survival itself. Every item was chosen with care: thermal layers, parkas for -60, insulated boots, gloves, hats, and face masks were essential to protect every inch of exposed skin from frostbite. Even socks were selected for maximum warmth and moisture control. Food meant high-calorie, high-fat rations, pemmican, nuts, chocolate, and butter for energy. We packed enough to fuel our bodies for days of hard trekking, knowing hunger could sap our strength and focus. Water was melted from snow using expedition stoves. Fire sources were redundant and reliable. We carried backup lighters, waterproof matches, and fire starters because a warm drink or a hot meal could mean hope in the cold. Navigation was critical: GPS, maps, compasses, and memorized landmarks. We studied the terrain, tracing possible routes and escape paths, always aware that a wrong turn could spell disaster. We planned routes for sightings and escape, and carried satellite phones and locator beacons for emergencies. Communication was our lifeline to the outside world, our only hope if things went wrong. For the hunt, we packed binoculars, spotting scopes, plaster for tracks, and a DNA kit. Every tool had a purpose, from tracking elusive footprints to collecting evidence of what roamed these woods. Bear spray and flare guns were our only defense. Out here, you respect the wild, and you never underestimate what you might encounter. Every detail mattered. One mistake could be fatal. We checked and rechecked, knowing that forgetting even a single item could cost us dearly. We checked, double-checked, and packed our sleds. Each load was balanced for efficiency and speed, ready for whatever the wilderness would throw at us. The time for planning was over. The moment had come to put our preparation to the test. We were as ready as we could be. The wild awaited, vast and unforgiving, daring us to step forward. It was time to face the beast. No turning back now. With every step, we carried our preparation and our hopes into the unknown. The ski plane dropped us on a frozen lake, then silence, and endless white. Jagged peaks surrounded us, the cold stung with every breath. We were alone, a tiny team in a vast wilderness. Routine was survival gear loaded onto sleds, 50 minutes of hauling, 10 minutes of rest. Sweat was dangerous. Freeze, and you're done. The first camp was a test. Snow walls for wind, tents set up with gloved hands, stoves roaring to melt snow. That night, -40 seeped into our bones. Sleep was fitful. Every sound amplified in the darkness. Imagination ran wild. Was the tornado out there, watching? The wilderness was testing us. We survived day one. The real journey had just begun. Alaska was not going to make it easy. In Alaska, the cold is a predator, always hunting for weakness. It's not just a backdrop, it's an active force shaping every moment, every decision. Out here, the environment itself feels alive, testing your limits at every turn. Every action was about conserving heat. Simple tasks became battles. Even tying your boots or boiling water felt like a struggle against time as the cold tried to steal your energy with every breath. Frostbite was a constant threat. We checked each other for white patches and slept with fuel and water to keep them from freezing. Vigilance was our only defense, and we learned to read the warning signs in each other's faces. Food was a challenge. Energy bars turned to bricks, thawed only by body heat. Even a simple meal became a test of patience and creativity, as we found ways to keep our nutrition from freezing solid. Then a blizzard hit. Visibility zero, wind howling, trapped for 36 hours in our tents. The storm battered us relentlessly, shaking the walls and burying us deeper in snow. The psychological toll was immense. The world shrank to the cramped space inside. Time slowed, and every hour felt like a day as we waited for the storm to pass. Lethargy tempted us to give up, but we fought it. Moving, eating, melting snow. Hypothermia was always lurking, waiting for a moment of weakness or inattention. The cold wore us down. Physically and mentally, muscles ached, minds wandered, and exhaustion crept in, but we pushed through the fatigue. But we endured, forcing ourselves to function. Each morning was a victory over inertia, a refusal to let the cold win. In this place, standing still meant giving up. Alaska demanded everything. Every step forward was an act of defiance against the elements. We gave it all we had. Together, we found strength in each other, refusing to let the cold break our spirit. The cold was relentless, but so were we. Each day was a new test, and every challenge made us stronger. Survival was a daily victory, a testament to our determination, and the will to keep moving forward no matter how fierce the enemy. In this wilderness, you're only as strong as your team. We watched out for each other, sharing gear, helping with sleds, checking for cold injuries. Teamwork was our glue. Fear was always present, not movie fear, but a quiet anxiety, hidden crevasses, avalanches, getting lost. And the fear of the unknown, the tornado. Every sound in the night made our hearts pound. Crossing a frozen river, the ice groaned beneath us. Panic threatened, but our mountaineer, Marcus, took charge. We spread out, unclipped from sleds, and moved slowly, probing the ice. Trust and calm kept us safe. Reaching the far bank, relief washed over us. We had faced fear together and survived. That moment forged us into a single unit. Stronger, more determined, we pressed on. The mission was now personal. After the blizzard and river ordeal, we focused on the hunt. The valley was eerie, silent, ancient, and full of secrets. We searched systematically, finding only familiar animal tracks at first. Discouragement set in. Was the tornado just a myth? Then, on day 5, our tracker Ben found it. A massive, oval print, nearly 2 feet long. Too big for any known animal. Deep, heavy, and fresh. Adrenaline surged. The legend was real. We photographed and cast the print, then found more tracks leading up a wooded slope. The stride was enormous. The creature was powerful and moving fast. We now had a trail to follow. The hunt became real and terrifying. We were no longer searching. We were tracking. The tracks led us higher into the mountains. Terrain grew brutal, weather volatile. The tornado moved where few could follow. The cold intensified, pushing us to our limits. Then, a mistake. I removed my glove for a minute. Instant frostbite. Panic threatened, but training kicked in. The team acted fast. Shelter, warmth, hot tea. Pain meant blood was returning. I'd caught it in time. A 60-second error nearly cost me my fingers. It was a harsh reminder. We were fragile, not invincible. Teamwork saved me. The lesson was clear. Alaska punishes every mistake. We pressed on, humbled and wary. The wild was not done with us yet. The tornad's tracks led to a remote, high-altitude basin, a lost world. At the base of a cliff, a cave yawned open, reeking of musk and wildness. We approached, hearts pounding, bear spray ready. Tracks crisscrossed the entrance. This was the lair. Inside, our headlamps revealed a cavern littered with bones, goat, caribou, even moose, snapped by immense force. In the back, a massive nest of moss, spruce, and white fir. We had found its home. Chloe collected fur samples for DNA. We photographed everything. The creature was gone, likely out hunting. Relief and disappointment mixed. As we left, the sense of being watched was overwhelming. We had proof the legend was real, but the mystery remained. It was time to go. We'd pushed our luck far enough. Alaska had given up one secret, but kept the rest. The journey back was a race against time and dwindling supplies. The wilderness now felt menacing. We were intruders, not hunters. Exhausted, battered, we finally heard the ski planes return. Civilization was a shock. Warmth, noise, abundance. My frostbitten fingers healed, but the mental scars lingered. The DNA results, unidentified primate, another mystery. Alaska humbled us, taught us respect for the wild. True survival isn't conquering nature, but understanding it and your own limits. Teamwork, trust, and courage were our real discoveries. The tornado is still out there, a ghost in the frozen north. The wild is always calling, and there's always more to explore.